Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. And we're back for some 1907 World Series between the Cubs and the Tigers. The Cubs have a commanding 3 games to 1 lead. Can the Cubbies win the World Series here today? Let's take a look back and see how the Cubbies are hitting and pitching and the Tigers in this World Series. You got Red Downs is batting 1 for 1. Roseman's batting .462 with an RBI. Ball Smith for the Tigers is batting .400. Billy Culligan's batting .300. And Davy Jones is batting .267. Matty McIntyre coming off the bench is batting .250. Sam Crawford's batting .222. Ty Cobb still struggling in this World Series, but does have 4 RBIs while he's hitting .167. Germany Schaefer's batting .154. Charlie O'Leary's batting .100. And everybody else for the Tigers is looking for their first hit. And for the Tigers, Eli Jones has pitched 2 innings, given up 2 hits, struck out 1, giving up no runs. George Mullen, who's pitching game 5 here, trying to keep the Tigers in it, is 1-0. He's got the only victory for the Tigers. He went 12 innings in his only start, gave up 10 hits, walked 1, and struck out 1. Ed Seaver is 0-1. He won 8 innings in this World Series so far, 7 hits and 4 runs with a 2.25 ERA. And Billy Dullivan is 0-2. He's pitched 15 and 2/3, giving up 22 hits, 4 walks, and has a 4.6 ERA. And for the Cubbies, trying to win this World Series, Frank Schultz is batting amazing, .667 with 3 RBIs. Peaches Graham's coming off the bench 1 for 2. Johnny Kling's hitting .438 with 2 RBIs. Jimmy Shecker's batting .412 with 2 RBIs. Frank Chance is batting .250. Jimmy Slag's batting .263. Johnny Evers is batting .214. Joe Tinker's batting .133. Harry Steinfeld's only batting .071. He's 1 for 14. And everybody else for the Cubbies are pitch hitters, and they went 0 for 1. Ed Rubox went 1 game, 9 innings, and gave up 9 hits, walked 4, and hasn't given up a run. Jack Feaster's 0-1. He went 12 innings. Um, excuse me, 12 innings, gave up 7 hits and 2 walks, and has a 2.25 ERA. And Orville overall is 2-0, pitched 18 innings, 15 hits, 5 walks, and 1 strikeout, and his ERA is 3.0. And none of those pitchers are pitching today. For the Cubbies, we got Mordecai Brown going on the mound for the first time for the Cubbies, trying to win this World Series. Let's get to the starting lineup here for this game. And leading off for the visiting Chicago Cubs, Jimmy Slang playing center field, batting second, playing left field, Jimmy Sheckard, batting third, playing first base, Fred Chance, batting fourth, playing third base is Harry Steinfeld, batting fifth, doing the catching is Johnny Kling, batting sixth, playing second base is Johnny Evers, batting seventh, playing right field is Frank Schultz, batting eighth, playing shortstop Joe Tinker, and like was said, on the mound, batting ninth is Mordecai Brown, trying to win the World Series for these Cubbies here today. And for the Tigers, leading off, playing left field, Davy Jones, batting second, playing second, Germany Schaefer, batting third, playing center field is Sam Crawford, batting fourth, playing right field is Ty Cobb, batting fifth, playing first base is Claude Roseman, batting sixth, playing third base is Billy Culligan, batting seventh and doing the catching is Jimmy Archer, batting eighth, playing shortstop is Charlie O'Leary, and on the mound trying to keep the Tigers in this World Series is George Mullen. Let's get down here to the field and get this game started, folks. And we got Jimmy Slang. He's batting 222 in this World Series, going up against George Mullen, who's 1-0. 12 innings, gave up 10 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 1 and struck out 1. Let's take a look around Bennett Park here. Cloudy, overcast day today. And here's the 3-2 pitch to Slang. And he takes it for ball 4, so the Cubbies got the go-ahead run down at first. Leadoff batter on already, and that brings up Jimmy Sheckard, batting .412 with 2 RBIs. Jimmy Slang down there. It's the Jimmy and Jimmy show. Will Jimmy Slang take off and try to steal on Jimmy Archer? There's Jimmys everywhere. Here's a Jimmy, there's a Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy. And here is the pitch. And he squares the bunt, and that's a good bunt down the third base. Only plays over to first, and that'll be out number 1. The Cubbies got a runner in scoring position for Frank Chance, batting .250 with no RBIs and no home runs. And here's the pitch to Chance, and that ball is swung on and missed. Strike 1. And now here's the 0-1 pitch to Chance. And that's a slow roller up the middle, makes it in there for a base hit. And here comes the go-ahead run. And just like that, that's a double, folks. So Frank Chance gets a double and puts the Cubbies on board 1-0 here, trying to wrap this World Series up. Harry Steinfeld, who's been struggling, batting .071, 1 for 14. Can he drive Frank Chance in and double this lead? Here's the 1-1 pitch to Harry. And that ball is hit down the third, over to first, and that'll be out number 2. The runner does advance. He's 90 feet away for Jimmy Kling. And Kling is batting .438 with 2 RBIs. Can he pick up his third one of the series? Here's the 1-2 pitch to Johnny. And that'll do it. 1 run for the Cubbies. We go to the bottom of the first. Chicago 1. Tigers coming to the plate with Jones, Schaefer, and Crawford. Davy Jones coming up is batting .267 with no homers and no RBIs, going up against Mordecai Brown, making his first start here in the World Series. Can he shut these Tigers down and get the Cubbies the victory and the rings, folks? Here's the 1-0 pitch to Davy Jones. That's a slow roller down the second. Should be an easy play. 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the first. And that brings up Germany Schaefer, who's struggling big time, folks. Only 2 for 13. He does have an RBI, though. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Germany. Mordecai Brown getting behind on these batters. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. That'll be out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. And that brings up Sam Crawford, batting .222 with an RBI in this World Series. He's 1 for 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that ball is hit right at Johnny at second. And that'll be 1-2-3 for the Tigers. We go to the top of the second. It's 1-0 Cubbies. Talking about Johnny Evers, he's due up, followed by Frank Schultz and Joe Tinker. And here's the pitch to Johnny, the 2-2 count. And that ball is smacked down the third, over to first, and he's going to be safe, folks. That's an infield hit for Johnny Evers. And again, the Cubbies got the leadoff batter aboard. Can they cash in like they did in the first? Frank Schultz is batting a nice .667 with 3 RBIs. Here's the question. Will Evers be taking off trying to steal? And will they, hot hitting Frank Schultz, have him lay down a bunt? Here's their first pitch to Frank. He's swinging away, and that ball's hit down the third. Only plays over to first, and he's safe. 2 infield hits, 2 runners on. It's first and second, and Frank Schultz is freaking on fire. He's like a volcano, folks. This ain't no ordinary fire. That brings up Joe Tinker. He's at the other end of the spectrum. He's only batting a $133, but he has 2 RBIs. He's 2 for 15. Johnny down there at second. A single probably scores him with his great speed. Here's the pitch to Tinker. And off they go. They're trying to steal, folks, and they'll be down there with no throw, a double steal. Let's take a look at that again. Now you got runners at second and third and nobody out. Cubbies playing aggressive like they got a 3-1 lead in this series, because they do. Like I say, no throw, no chance to get them. Speed kills. So now you got Tinker up, and now a single probably scores 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Joe. And that ball is hit high. That ball is hit far. That ball is over their head. That's going to be a 2-run double at least, maybe a triple, and it is, folks. Joe Tinker with only his 3rd hit of the series, but his 4th and 3rd and 4th RBIs and another triple. I think that is Tinker's 2nd triple of this World Series. And the Cubbies are out to a 3-0 lead. Runner down at third. Tigers got to bring the infield in. Mordecai Brown's up, his first plate appearance of this World Series. And you know the saying on this channel, we don't need no stinking DH. Let's see what Mordecai batted in 1907. Look at his batting stats here. In 1907, he batted a $153 with 7 RBIs. Can he deliver here, folks, his first plate appearance and make this a 4-0 lead? Here's the full count to Mordecai, and he hits that ball well into the outfield. That should drive in the run. And here's the throw to the plate, and they cut it off, and it is 4-0, folks. In a blink of an eye, the Cubbies got a commanding lead. Now there's 1 out, and we're back to the top of the order already. Jimmy Slang walked his first time up and came around the score. And here we go with an 0-2 pitch to Jimmy. And that's a slow roller. And that's going to be out number 2. Nice play by O'Leary. And that brings up Jimmy Sheckard now. Sheckard is bunted his first time up. See what Jimmy does this time. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Sheckard. And that's a pop up on the infield. Who wants it? And that'll be out number 3. The Tigers go down, but not until they score 3 runs on 4 hits. 3 runs on 3 hits and take a 4-0 lead, folks. We got Cobb, Roseman, and Collin up. Cobb, like I say, is struggling in this series. The only good part is he does have 4 RBIs, batting a $167. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Mordecai Brown's been behind on a lot of these Tigers. That's a slow roller down the second. Evers has got it over the chance for out number 1. And that brings up Roseman. Roseman's one of the few Tigers hitting well. He's batting .462 with an RBI. Here's the 0-2 pitch to him. And that's a slow roller back to the mound. Mordecai Brown fires over the first, and they don't get him. That's an infield hit. Roseman's aboard. Like I say, he's one of the few bright spots here in this Tigers lineup. Brings up Billy Culligan, and he's batting .300. He's 3 for 10. And the Tigers start to get something here. Again, Mordecai Brown behind. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's lifted in the center field. Should be a can of corn. And that's 2 outs with a runner still down at first. And the score 4-0. And that'll bring up Jimmy Archer. And this is his first plate appearance of the World Series, folks. See if Archer can get something going here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Mordecai finally gets ahead of him. And that ball is hit in the center field. And that'll be out number 3. Tigers strand 1. We go to the top of the 3rd. We got Chance, Steinfeld, and Kling due up here for the Cubbies. Frank Chance is 1 for 1 with an RBI today. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Frank Chance. And that ball's hit down the short. Should be an easy play over to first. O'Leary throws it, and that'll be out number 1. Harry Steinfeld's up now. He's 0 for 1 today. His batting average has dropped below the 100 mark now. See if Harry can get on base here with 1 out. And no, he can't. That is a swing and a Colligan fields it and throws it over to first, and that'll be out number 2. It's a nice play down there by Bill at third. And that'll be out number 3. Sorry, folks, had to sneeze there. And the Cubbies go down 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the third. And you got O'Leary, Mullen, and back to the top of the order in Davy Jones. Here's the 2-2 pitch to O'Leary. And Charlie lifts that ball in the left field rather, and that's in the gap. He's going for 2. He's in there safely with a leadoff double, and they misplay that ball, folks. How far is he going to run? He makes it in the third with a triple, folks. They're going to give him a 3-bagger. I would have gave him a double and an error on that. But the Tigers now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Runner 90 feet away, and we don't need no stinking DH. Can George help his own cause here? Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he goes down swinging. And big strikeout there by 3-Finger Brown. Now you got Davy Jones up. He's 0 for 1. And here's the first pitch to Jones. And that's a slow roller down the short. That'll get the run in. That'll make it a 4-1 game. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on now. That brings up Germany Schaefer. Schaefer's 0 for 1 in this ball game. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Germany. And that ball is hit over Tinker's head in the left field for a base hit. So the Tigers now got Schaefer down at first for Sam Crawford. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Crawford. And that ball is hit back to the mound. Mordecai throws over to first. That'll end the inning. But the Tigers pick up a run and make it a 3-run game. It's 4-1 as we go to the top of the 4th. We got Evers, Schultz, and Tinker due up here. And Johnny's 1 for 1 today. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him. And that ball is hit down the second over to first for out number 1. That'll bring up Frank Schultz. And Frank's batting .692. He's 1 for 1 today, folks. Had an infield hit his first time up. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Frank. And that ball is hit down the second. And they'll get him out this time. That's 2 up and 2 down for the Cubbies. And it's up to Joe Tinker, who tripled and had a 2 RBI triple his last time up. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Tinker. And that's a slow roller down the third. And Bill's got it, fires over to first, and that'll end the inning. The Cubbies go down 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cobb, Roseman, and Bill due up the bat here. Here's the pitch to Ty Cobb. And Cobb lifts that down the third. Steinfeld makes a nice play. We'll look at that again. Takes a hit away from Ty Cobb on that liner. Right at him. Didn't have to move. 1 up and 1 down. And here comes Roseman. Roseman is 1 for 1 today. He's batting .500, like I say, one of the bright spots here in the Tigers offense. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Claude. That ball is hit into the gap in right field. That's off the wall. Roseman's had it for second, slides in safely with a 1-out double. So the Tigers now got another runner in scoring position for Billy Colligan. Billy's 0 for 1 today. And here's the 0-1 pitch to Bill. And that ball is hit into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Here's a play at the plate, folks. And he's in there safely. And that cuts the lead in half to 4-2. And a runner gets into scoring position on the throw. So the Tigers aren't giving up without a fight. And that brings up Jimmy Archer. This will be his second appearance here. He is 0 for 2 in this series, 0 for 1 today. Here's the 0-2 pitch to him. That ball is fisted down to second, over to first. And that'll be out number 2. Now they got a runner down at third for Charlie O'Leary. O'Leary's 1 for 1. Can they make this a one-run ball game? Here's the 1-1 pitch to O'Leary. That ball's hit down to second and makes it through. And just like that, the Cubbies have scored 2 runs in this inning, and it's a one-run ball game. They're back in it, folks. And we're going to have a pitch hitter already. They're playing like this is an elimination game. Ed Killen is due up here now. He's 0 for 4 in this series. And here's the pitch to Ed. And that ball is hit down to Tinker, over to Evers, and that'll end the inning, but not until the Tigers score 2 and cut the lead to 4-3. And Elijah Jones is coming out of the bullpen. He's pitched 2 scoreless innings, giving up 2 hits and strikeout. And the first batter he'll face is his counterpart, Mordecai Brown. Then back to the top of the order and Slang and Sheckard. Here's the pitch to Brown, a 1-1 count. Mordecai pops that one right back up to the pitcher. Jones makes a nice play as soon as he comes in the game. And that brings up Jimmy Slang. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the full count to Jimmy. And he looks at ball 4. So the Cubbies got an insurance runner down at first, and Slang, who is excellent speed. Let's see if Sheckard is going to lay down a bunt here and try to get him in the scoring position. He does. That ball's bunted back to the mound, over to first. Now there's 2 outs with Slang down at second for Frank Chance. And Frank is batting .278. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI today. Can he pick up the second one? Here's the 1-0 pitch to Frank. That ball is hit down the second, over to first, and that'll end the inning. The Cubbies strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We got the top of the order due up here against Mordecai Brown, Jones, Schaefer, and Crawford. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Jones. Tigers trying to tie this ball game up here in the 4th, and that's a pop-up down to Joe Tinker in the 5th, rather. And that'll bring up Jeremy Schaefer. He's 1 for 2 today, getting his average up to the 200 mark. And he's fisted that one down the 3rd, over to first for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down, and that'll bring up Sam Crawford. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Crawford. And that ball is hit down the first. Chance takes it himself. And that'll be out number 3. The Tigers go down 1-2-3. We go to the top of the 6th. Steinfeld, Kling, and Evers due up here. And here's the pitch from Jones. 0-1 count. And that ball is fisted into the air. And that's going to be out number 1. As Crawford makes a nice play out there in center field. That brings up Johnny Kling, batting 0 for 2 today. Can Kling get on board here with 1 out? Here's the 1-0 pitch to him. And that's a nice catch out there by Cobb in right field. Let's take a look at that one again, folks. Just robbed Kling of a base hit. Nice dive and catch by Ty Cobb. And that brings up the other Johnny Evers. And he's 1-2 today. And he's first pitch swinging against Jones. And that's a ground ball down the second, over to first for out number 3. Cubbies will go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We got Cobb, Roseman, and Billy Kahn due up. Let's see what old Ty can do. Just made a nice play out there in the outfield. That's a ground ball down to Johnny at second for out number 1. And that'll bring up Roseman now. He's 2 for 2 today. He is smoking hot here for the Tigers. And they finally get him out. That's a ground ball down the second, over to first, and they finally get Roseman out. Up to the plate steps Bill. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI today. Here's the 2-2 count to Bill. And that ball is hit down the short. Tinker should make the play easily and does. And that's it for the Tigers in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. We got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Cubs. Schultz, Tinker, and Brown. And Frank is 1 for 2 today. He is hitting the cover off the ball, folks, in this World Series. Can he continue it on this bat? Here's the 1-0 pitch to Frank. And that ball is hit down the third, over the first for out number 1. And that'll bring up Joe Tinker. He's tripled and driven in 2 today. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Joe. And that's a ground ball down the second, over to first. And that'll be 2 up and 2 down. So it's up to Mordecai Brown to keep this inning alive. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Brown. That ball is hit back up the middle, and shortstop's got it, throws over to first. When the Cubbies go down in order, we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's a 4-3 ball game, folks. You got Jimmy Archer, O'Leary, and probably a pitch hitter for Jones due up here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Archer. That ball is popped a mile high in the infield, and Steinfeld makes the catch for out number 1. And up to the plate now is going to step Charlie O'Leary. He's 2 for 2 today with an RBI. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Deuces everywhere you look. And that's a swing and a miss. Like 3. No, it's not. That's a fly ball in the center field for out number 1. Sorry about that. Let's look at that again, as that fooled me. Thought he missed it. I didn't hear the crack of the bat. Now I heard the crack of the bat that time. That's a nice play out there by Slang. Over the shoulder catch to rob him of a hit. And we got a pitch hitter here. Red Downs is batting. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI in this series. And here's the 1-2 count on him. And that ball is lifted in the center field. And that'll be a can of corn. 1-2-3 goes the Tigers. We go to the 8th. Cubbies hanging on to that 1-0 lead. Top of the order due up here against John Ebank. This will be Jerry's. See what he did in 1907 here. Look at his pitching stats in 07. He pitched in 15 games. He started 8, was 3-3 with a, where's the ERA? With a 2.67 ERA. Let's see if he can keep this a 1-run game for the Tigers and give them a chance here in the 8th and 9th. Jimmy Slang due up here. He's 0 for 1 today. He has been on base twice with walks. That's going to be a fly ball out the Cobb in right field for out number 1. And that brings up Jimmy Sheckard. He's 0 for 1 today. Can Jimmy get on base here and get the Cubbies some insurance runs? Here's the 0-1 pitch to Sheckard. And that's a ground ball up the middle. So Jimmy's aboard here with 1 out. And that brings up Frank Chance. Chance is 1 for 3 with an RBI. And Jimmy down at first where he lay down a bunt and try to get him over. Here's the 0-2 count. That ball is hit down the second. Can they get 2 over the short for 1 no throw to first? So now there's 2 outs and Frank Chance down at first. and Harry Steinfeld up. Only 1 for 17 in this World Series, folks. Can Harry come up with a big base hit? A double probably scores Frank Chance. He's first pitch swinging, and no, he's not. Frank Chance is taking off, and he's out of there, folks. Kind of don't blame the Cubbies for trying to get him in the scoring position. 2 outs, but that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the eighth. It's still 4-3 Cubs. We got the top of the order due up here in the eighth. Jones, Schaefer, and Crawford. Jones is 0 for 3, but he does have an RBI today. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Davy Jones. And that ball's hit a mile high. That ball might be wet. Johnny takes control, makes the catch for out number 1. And we're going to have a pitch hitter here. Matty McIntyre comes off the bench. He's 1 for 4 in this World Series, batting .250 with an RBI. Tigers are pulling out all the stops. Here's the 1-2 count on Mordecai. And that's a nice play down there by Joe Tinker. Dives, makes a nice catch, robs Marty of a base hit. Let's take a look at this again. Nice play by Tinker. That ball was laced, heading into left field, and Tinker dives and makes the stop for out number 2. Now we got Sam Crawford due up. He's 0 for 3 today. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Crawford. And that ball is hit in the right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. So Crawford's aboard with the tying run. Brings the go-ahead run up to the plate in the form of Cobb. He's 0 for 3 today. Will Sam Crawford stay at first, or will he try to get in a scoring position? Here's the full count on Cobb, and Cobb walks. And with 2 outs, all of a sudden, Mordecai Brown's got himself in a pickle here. He's got the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first, and this is not who you want up if you're a Cubbies fan. Claude Roseman is batting .500 in this World Series. He's 8 for 16, only 1 RBI, though, and he's 2 for 3 today. Here's the pitch to Roseman. And that's a slow roller down the second, over to first, and Mordecai gets out of it with no runs. Tigers strand 2 and might have just lost the best chance to win this game. We go to the top of the 9th. We got Steinfeld, who was up 1 chance, got thrown out trying to steal. Kling and Evers due up here against Eubank. And here's the pitch to Harry Steinfeld. And Steinfeld hits this one into the center field. Crawford makes the catch, 1 down here in the top of the 9th. Johnny Kling would love to add some insurance runs here. Can Kling get on base? Here's the 0-1 pitch to Kling. And that ball is hit high in the air over shortstop's head. It drops in there for a base hit. Kling's aboard with a 1-out single. Can the Cubbies cash in here and get some insurance runs? Johnny Evers is up now. He is 1 for 3 today. Kling, excellent speed down there at first. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Johnny. He squares and bunts. And they're going to throw down the second and get the lead runner. Not a good job by Evers. Now there's 2 outs, and Evers is down at first for the man, Frank Schultz. He's 1 for 3 today. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Frank. And that ball is hit down the left field line off the wall. Is Johnny going to round third, head for home? He is. Can they increase this lead to 5-3? And they do. That's a big run for the Cubbies. Frank Schultz is the man here in this World Series, folks. Definitely the MVP. And here is Joe Tinker. Joe Tinker is 1 for 2 with a 2-run triple. He's got Frank Schultz down there at second. Can they cash in even more? And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. That'll end the inning. But the Cubbies score an important insurance run on the Frank Schultz double and take a 5-3 lead into the bottom of the 9th. Mordecai Brown trying to go the distance. Billy Culligan, Jim Archer, and Charlie O'Leary, the bottom part of this order. Bill's 1 for 3 with an RBI today, though. Here's the pitch to Bill. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short third, over to first. And Steinfeld over the chance gets the out. And that brings up Ball Smith. He's coming out the pitch hit. He's batting 400 in this series. He's 4 for 10. Here's the 1-0 pitch to the boss. And that ball is hit down the chance. He takes it himself. And we're down to the last out. We're going to go pitch by pitch here for the last out of this World Series, possibly. So Charlie O'Leary grabs the bat. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Here's the first pitch from Mordecai Brown. And he takes it for ball one. The curveball is just a bit inside. Charlie O'Leary gets back into the box. Mordecai Brown's ready to deliver this 1-0 pitch. And that ball is swung on and hit foul for strike one. So 1-1 pitch coming to Charlie. Mordecai goes into his delivery. Here's the pitch. And that's a number out in front of the plate. And Kling bobbles that ball. Oh my gosh. And just like that, the Cubbies got the tying run at the plate. With the E2, this game should be over, folks. And Bobby Lowe comes off the bench. He's 0 for 6. So there's still life here in Detroit at Bennett Field. Here's the first pitch to Bobby Lowe. And he looks at fastball too high for ball number one. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Bobby Lowe. And they throw over the first, but he gets back. Nice by Charlie O'Leary. Do not need to get picked off. His run means nothing right now. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and he takes that one high for ball number 2. So now all of a sudden Mordecai Brown behind in the count with a runner down at first. And that ball is hit foul. So now we got a 2-1 count. Charlie O'Leary still down there at first. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that one is in there for strike 2. He evens this count up. Charlie O'Leary takes his lead down at first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he throws a curveball outside. It's a full count. O'Leary will be off with the pitch. Here's the full count. And that ball is fouled off for strike 2, but still a 3-2 count. O'Leary again will be taken off with the pitch. Mordecai delivers the ball over to first, and O'Leary gets back. So we'll do this all over again. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Lowe, and that ball is fisted in the left field, and that'll do it, folks. The Cubbies win the World Series. The Cubbies win the World Series. World Series champs here. Take a look at this box score. The Cubbies ignite a huge celebration as they beat the Tigers 5-3 to win the World Series. Chicago 1907 won the series 4 games to 1, capturing the title. We stepped up at the right time. The champs finished the regular season when that in the Jubilation Clubhouse. This decisive game, no doubt about it. Frank Schultz, folks, great fans, and they deserve this. I'm so happy that our city right now. Frank didn't disappoint in this game. Frank was 2 for 4 with an RBI. He was the only Cubby with 2 hits. You had the big 2 RBI triple by Tinker, and Evers and Schultz both had stolen bases, and Chance was caught stealing. And for the Tigers, they didn't go down without a fight. Claude Roseman, got to give it to him, folks. He was 2 for 4 in this game. He did everything in his power to try to win it, that's for sure. I believe he was the only Tiger. Now you had Charlie O'Leary was 2 for 4 with an RBI. He was the only 2 Tigers with multiple hits. And Cubs left 3 men on base. The Tigers 6. Mordecai Brown goes the distance. 7 hits, 3 runs, walked 1, struck out 1. George McMillan picks up his first loss, goes 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, walked 1. And Jones comes in, pitches 3 innings, gives up 1 walk. And Ebank comes in, pitches 2 innings, gives up 3 hits and 1 run. And the Cubbies are your 1907 World Series champs. Next up on this will be the 1908 World Series. Take a look who that is. See who we'll have next here in 1908. We're going to have these same Cubbies and Tigers again, folks. So we're going to have a rematch here in 1908. So that'll be fun. All righty, folks. I want to thank you all for tuning in today and watching this final game of this 1907 World Series. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for reminders. On your way out of Detroit and Bennett Park, hit that like. Until next time, you all have a great day and take care.